Hello YouTube, this is The Bucket coming at you today with a book review on the U.S. handguns of World War II, The Secondary Pistols and Revolvers by Charles W. Pate. We're going to be talking about why I purchased this firearm, this firearm book, what the possible benefits would be, and how I ended up landing in on this one. So, as you guys know, I've been collecting World War II firearms, and I really focus on the GI bringbacks, and primarily those are going to be Axis pistols because that's what the GIs had got for souvenirs. But I definitely wanted to represent the U.S. military guns as well. So the first one I got was this Colt 1911 that was made in 1918 for World War I, but was retained for the interwar years and was converted to an A1 for World War II and had service there. I have some cool Freedom of Information Acts on this gun. We're going to do a review on this pistol in the future, so make sure that you're keeping an eye out for that one. But I wanted other guns that the U.S. had for World War II, and kind of the most famous one is probably the Smith & Wesson Victory, like the one I have here. Now, we had a lot of Lend-Lease firearms that were actually chambered in 38-200. I've already done a review on that gun, so make sure to check out my videos on that one. But there's also other manufacturers like the Colt Commando. Colt made these, and while they were in much smaller numbers, around that 50,000 mark, they are a cool piece of World War II history, and this book covers a lot of that information. So actually how I landed on this book was when I was wanting to buy a Smith & Wesson Victory in 38 Special. A couple of the guys from the Smith & Wesson forums recommended this book, and when I started doing a little bit of research on it, I was like, man, I got to get my hands on that. So I looked on Amazon, and they actually sold this book for $53. And it's a cool hardbound book, and it has just a ton of information in it, and so I had to pick it up. I think it took me 2 days to get this this book, and it's just awesome. It's little under 400 pages. He talks a lot about why he made the book and really delved into not just the guns, but also how the U.S. distributed the guns. So if you do a little bit of research on these, you'll know about the DSC, which the DSC was an organization. It was actually a part of the government that was used to get guns to non-military sources that still needed them, like manufacturing. You know, when you needed a guard to have a gun, you had to be able to get that during World War II, and the DSC was the way. And they explain all of that, how that works out, and they go into great detail. So he talks about the interwar years. He breaks it down into the Smith & Wesson 38 caliber revolvers, the Colt revolvers, the Colt automatic pistols, just goes into a ton of different stuff. Now, as you delve through this, you'll see lots of different things about the markings of your pistol. You will see that most all of the pictures, I think 100% of the pictures, are all in black and white, but they are good quality photos. And I loved, so with the Smith & Wesson Victory, they kind of went through a bunch of different stages, so your markings change a lot, and he goes into what to look for and to kind of give you rough estimates on what does it mean by age for the different markings that you have on your gun. And it's not going to give you the detailed information about your gun, but you can get a letter from Smith & Wesson or a letter from Colt to fill in some of those gaps. But if you're thinking about purchasing one of these and you see one in a store or you're looking online, you can look up, if you've got this book, to kind of understand, am I getting a DSC gun? Am I getting a Navy gun? Am I getting an Army gun? Like, it goes into a lot of details about all of that information, gives good examples of what the different guns look like, and really can help you out a lot prior to making a purchase. Now, that may not be you. Maybe you inherited a gun from grandpa and you really want to know what's special about this gun. This is another good book for that because it gets you a lot into the minutia of the gun, of, you know, kind of the process of where it was. It's really a cool book in that regard. But if you're looking for a lot of serial number data, this is probably not the book for you. So I really enjoy this book. For $53, you're just not going to find a much better deal. And for me, somebody that wanted to learn about the gun that they had, but was also thinking about getting a different secondary sidearm. I really want to get one of the high standard guns, and I know nothing about those. And sometimes going to the forums, it's kind of hard to get that information out when you don't know what you're looking for. So this is a really good book for that. So if you're thinking to yourself, man, I just picked up Grandpa's gun and I want to know more about it, or maybe you're thinking about picking up a new gun for your collection, the U.S. Handguns of World War II, the secondary pistols and revolvers, is an awesome option. It was, again, written by Charles W. Pate. I'm going to love having this in my collection. I think it's going to be great for me moving forward, and it's going to bring me some new content to the channel. So to give you a little bit more background, I am going to do a review on each one of these pistols. They're going to give me some more of the history. I'll give you some of this history that Pate gave to me. I will also do a comparison between the two revolvers and what I think the U.S. government should have done. Whether did they get it right from purchasing more of these Smith & Wessons, or maybe should they have gotten some more of these Colt Commandos. And then I've also ordered a letter from Smith & Wesson and a letter from Colt. And now those take about 4 months to come in, but I'm going to compare that process for both of these guns and show you what they say, and then kind of give you my outlook on the letter process from both of these great manufacturers. So I do want to thank you so much for supporting the channel. All the likes, the comments, and shares are really appreciated. And as always, you stay classy, YouTube.